In my free previous video, we found out the guideline, the materials, the volumes, and finally the garments of your small collection. We also found out the best way to applicate some decorations made of gilt cord and glass beads. Now we're going to draw these garments on special silhouettes and then put some colors. Eventually, we will draw technical drawings when necessary. Here is the next step in fashion design. I got my colored pencils with the colors that I had chosen according to the Indian summer guideline. That is to say, a bright red, a warm orange, a shiny yellow, and medium green, which can also be a little more bluish. There's also a blue color that reminds me of the sky of the lakes in Canada. I've also chosen two other colors, a brown and a yellow, that I will use together to symbolize the golden color, since I wish to apply on the clothes of my collection gilt cords. I like very much working with colored pencils because I can mix the colors. The range of colors available is large, they are cheap, and mine are watercolored. I start my first fashion drawing with a dress. Underneath my A4 sheet of paper, I place one of the silhouettes I provide for free on my website, Anya Camau Academy. With this dress, I wish to place a small drape at the waist, but this drape will remain light. This dress will also have a wrap effect. Since the bottom of the dress will be weighed down by the weight of the gilt cords and glass beads, the opening of this wrap dress will move nicely with the movement of the body. I think this will add an interesting feature to this dress. At the top of this dress, there's no collar, because I want the dress to be simple, but the sleeves will be flared down at the wrist. With the application of cords on top, around the wrist, the movement of the sleeves will be amplified, just like the bottom of this dress. I draw quickly the head of my silhouette, using the silhouette I can see underneath. It's all about fashion drawing and not artistic illustration. The purpose of this drawing is to transmit the necessary information to the pattern maker so that he understands what the designer wants, and it is not an artistic drawing intended to be published in a social network or in a magazine. This is a drawing for work. I will speak in the next video of the difference between the fashion design, drawing, and the artistic illustration, which have different goals. It's always dangerous to make a confusion between the two of them, because the artistic design drawing requires a lot of time, and when you illustrate, you're not fashion designing. In the fashion industry, time is very important indeed. You must go on with the creation of your collection until the very last moment and be ready for your fashion show date or press release date. The research and drawing step represents only about 30% of a designer's time. The remaining time is about focusing and correction until the last moment. To draw, I use here my colored pencil to put color to my drawing. To make it more lively, I decide from which side the light comes and represent this light with arrows to better explain this technique. I leave in white all the parts that are directly on the side of a light, as if there was a powerful lamp that gives too much light to this part of a garment. This very easy little technique makes the drawing more realistic, it gives a better consistency. In a word, it makes the drawing more alive. I put color in areas that are not lit directly by my imaginary light, just taking care not to go beyond the drawing lines. The important thing here is that my drawing represents well the vision that I have of this garment, its volume, its shape, its proportions, the length and the width, because I must say to the pattern maker through my drawing what I exactly wish. The silhouette is not standing straight, and that allows me to show out if the clothing moves with the body or if it is more a rigid clothing. Coloring my drawing becomes a very simple operation. After I blend the color with a little water and a small brush. As you will see, this removes my pencil and turns it into a charming watercolor in just a few seconds. I really like this technique because it's so easy and fast. It's that easy that I don't hesitate to draw again several times a silhouette, to study several options for the same cloth, until the clothing matches what I want. Again, the drawing serves to explain to the pattern maker what you want. Its purpose is not really to show out the collection, although it may be included in a portfolio later on. The purpose of fashion design is to bring the idea of a designer right to the pattern maker. I also quickly draw some decorations, so that the pattern maker knows that there will be something there at the bottom of the dress. At this point, I do not try to find out the good pattern for my applications, even if I already have an idea of them and I have already done some tests, because I have to work with true measures to find out the good application patterns. So I will work on these patterns directly at pattern making step. It is indeed impossible to figure out the effect of applications on such a small drawing. Again, it's important to save time because it's not possible to be late for a fashion show. For example, for this dress creation process, we have barely reached a quarter of its creative process, and I must always think about the date of my fashion show or its presentation to the press. Here, in the same way, I color in yellow the short tunic, slightly flared, and his midi skirt, which will probably have a small vent. My drawing is simple, but it gives the pattern maker enough details for him to know what he has to do. That is to say, a wide neckline without collar, a slight cinch effect on the sides, a body length slightly below the waist, sleeves flared at the wrist, few visible seams, only a few dots. I especially want to set the style of this suit, that is to say, a little dressy for a dinner party or a casual cocktail. Here is the drawing of my skirt and its short top. Using the same silhouette underneath, I draw the pants and tunic that I decided to create in red. This tunic ends at the hips and will have a larger cinch effect. I decided to work here only on plain fabrics because the applications bring enough complexity to this collection, which I do not want to overload. You can see that this suit follows the same guideline as the others that corresponds to my Indian summer mood board, all with applications of similar embellishments that are not all used at the same place. The pattern of this application will be set exactly at the time of the pattern making and in actual size. I also indicate with some notes the name of the model to inform the pattern maker. For last, I draw the coat. I wish it to be a little like a poncho because it will be a half-season coat with a straight collar set rather away from the neck. I decided to create this coat in green, but the entire collection can be corrected afterwards throughout the process of making the pattern and sewing the prototypes. A designer must hold a constant dialogue with the pattern maker and the seamstress throughout the creation, because fashion is a teamwork. Looking at my drawing, one can see that the sleeves will be short, the collar will be set well away from the neck, the front closure will feature large buttons. I take care to quickly draw a button to show that the embellishments will be fixed on the buttons and not on the coat itself. I want my coat to be a simple one. Here are the sketches I made in the previous video when I chose the 4 silhouettes that define 6 garments in all. The dress that I drew in orange, the short top and skirt in bright yellow, then the pants and tunic in red, and finally the coat in green that comes above the 3 silhouettes. I still can see in these 4 silhouettes the elements of my collection guideline. This is called the consistency of a collection, and it's very important. As I told you, I had information for the pattern maker, like for this coat I note the kind of fabric that I want, a medium weight woolen. Now I want to add some information upon 2 silhouettes so that the pattern maker draw exactly the pattern of the garment that I want. Here I draw a very simple way and without color, apart from some embellishments. I draw the back of a yellow tunic to indicate to the pattern maker that there will be a zip at the top of the back. For the coat, I also want to specify some details that are the length of the sleeves, the volume of the coat down, that it's flared to give this poncho look, 2 patch pockets on the front are set, and for the back I want to add a small vent to amplify the volume at the bottom. That's it. Here is your first tiny fashion collection. The drawing step is now over. Because we don't study fashion illustration here. Fashion illustration is more an artistic drawing, but the fashion designer's work does not stop here. Now the designer must check the work of a pattern maker at all stages of pattern and prototype making to make sure that the garment corresponds to his initial idea. A bit like an architect who follows the construction work of that house he's just designed. Therefore, before attending level 2 of my free fashion design course, because there are 12 levels inside, we will study together the first level of my free pattern making course and then the first level of my free sewing course. All these courses are valuable without any subscription at Anya Camau Academy. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, comment my videos, and have a look at my free courses at Anya Camau Academy. See you soon!